Today, we are fishing the small pond with the goal of catching some giant fish.
There's one. There's another one. Oh.
Welcome to the tiny pond where supposedly there are some monster fish. You guys can see we're going to be taking out the kayak today in hopes of catching some of these giants that supposedly live in here. Not it is springtime here in Michigan, just like it is across the country, which means it is some of the best time to catch some of these giant bass. So we're going to be throwing a different variety of baits at them today. Probably some Senkos, jerk baits for sure. Start off with those two, and if we can get a good bite going, maybe switch it up, throw something a little bigger like a swim bait or a big spinner or something like that. But this pond is looking juicy, so I want to get out there and start fishing.
All right, we have made it onto the pond. And it's honestly a lot windier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it said there was going to be like 10-mile-an-hour winds, but some of these gusts are pretty strong. And I think we're going to start, I know I said we're going to throw a little bit of variety of baits, but I think today we're going to start with some sort of Senko. I got one tied up right here on a Texas rig, because this pond does have some deep spots, you know, that are pushing 15, 20-ish foot. And then I got a spinning rod with a Senko, you know, a wacky rig Senko, kind of the classic bait for ponds. These two options are always a great choice, you know, kind of just to feel out the pond, because you guys can see, I mean, right here, there's a down tree, and then kind of all this little bank is kind of these weed lines / little stick pilings. So those two baits, honestly, I'm thinking are probably going to work the best. And then once we catch some fish, we'll move on to like a crankbait or jerk bait or something like that. Here we go. First fish of the day, guys. Absolute dink bass for our first one. Look at that. 10-incher. But on the wacky rig, like I said, we're going to start with something finesse, the best pond bait of all time. Get something going, see if we can get a bite. And sure enough, we found it. First fish of the day. Only been out here for probably 5-ish minutes. On the green pumpkin wacky worm. We're going to throw this around, honestly, probably for a lap. See if we can upgrade it at any size. And then once we catch a few bigger ones, or even honestly just after the full lap, we'll go ahead, switch something else up, see if we can catch a bigger fish on the bigger bite. But hey, first fish in the first pond of this year, baby. Let's go. That might help. Here we are, fish 2 right up next to the tree. Holy crap, even smaller than the first one. About literally let's see, probably a 10-incher. 10-inch bass for the second one. I mean, hey, I guess they're in here, but definitely not gonna do. Looking for something a whole lot bigger. But I mean, hey, the Senko is literally just a fish finder. If you don't have any baits, or if you can only throw one bait in a pond and you want to catch fish, you might as well go ahead, throw the Senko. But that's back-to-back cast, basically. Hello, duck. But back-to-back casts, and we have caught 2 fish for a total of 20 inches, probably less, but see if we can get something a little bigger. We're kind of just working this way down this bank right now. We found a calm spot on the lake. Right to my right, I don't know, you guys will definitely be able to hear it in the audio, but it is extremely windy today. So my brother and I found a little calm spot. We're gonna try and fish this bank before we get blown out into the windier side. But hey, maybe it might have a little bit bigger fish. You don't know. Here we go. Let's see what this is. Feels a little bit bigger. Probably our biggest one of the day. Maybe a 12-incher or so, but again, on that green pumpkin Senko. Honestly, so that is now 3 fish in less than 10 minutes. It's safe to say the Senko is definitely going to get them done. I just don't know how many of these we're going to want to catch before we try and size up a little bit. and see if we can find one of these big mamas that supposedly live in here. Oh, I literally just had another one. I mean, it seems to be right now there's fish after fish. Cooper's tying on a Texas rig. Maybe he can size up, throw something a little bit beefier, because there was fish for. Could have been a bluegill, but not sure. But yeah, Cooper's tying up a Senko or a Texas rig craw. He's gonna go for the beefier, bigger bite. And honestly, I think I'll probably cap myself off around 6 or 7 of these guys before I'm just switching it up. Stop wasting my time with the dinks. Got one? Oh, Cooper's hooked up. Hey, way bigger fish than what we're getting. About the same. Let him deal with that bass. Probably about a 14, 13-ish incher. There we go. Nice one. He's throwing the Texas rig Guggen craw. I think the baby one, but again, great pond bait. All these baits are good for, you know, little ponds like this, little bodies of water. He had a jerk bait on him as well. You know, we haven't thrown ours yet, but I'm sure we'll throw it looking for that big bass bite here and eventually. Hey, Cooper's hooked back up. Looks to be a nice fish. Same size as the last one. Now I think that's 2 for him. I think we've got 3 or 4 in the boat, but I mean, we've only been out here for now like not even 20 minutes and we've got 6-ish fish, so shaping up to be a pretty good start so far. Now we just need to find something with a little bit of size to it. Shoot, maybe I'm gonna have to throw on a Texas rig. Oh, I think I got one. Can't even tell. Oh, yep. Here we go. Hey, got one that's finally pulling a little. Oh. What do we got here? Wow. I mean, definitely the biggest of the day, guys. Let's see. About a 1.5 pounds, maybe. Definitely not a giant by any means, but compared to what we've been catching in here, feels like it's like a 4-pounder. Can't even pop the hook off. All right, take a close look at this chunker. Again, probably about a 1.5 pounds. Send him on back. And there, we started all the way down there at the end. We let the wind push us this way, and now we're kind of just working our way around the outside of this pond and then heading back over to where we started. I think that's now fish 4 or 5 for me. He just got broken off by probably a pike, so we're starting to find a fish and put together a plan. Oh my gosh, he's hooked up again. Wow. 4th one, back-to-back cast for him. He's hooked up. Caught that big one a couple minutes ago and haven't had a nibble since. Yeah, nice 10-incher. What the heck? Oh! Cooper's got a giant. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can get over here. Oh my gosh. Oh snap. Let's see if I can get a video of this big guy. Here, let me get my other camera out. Here's that fish. That's probably a 2-pounder. But dang, still on the craw. Right now we kind of moved over to these docks, but what a solid fish. Here we go, here we go. Bang! Hey, a little bit better. Crushing that Senko. Monkey Man still throwing Texas rig on our second lap. Probably switched up throw, honestly maybe a Texas rig or the jerk bait here soon. We'll do one more fish on this and then we'll switch it up. Try and go. Hey, he's got something. Hey, that's a pretty good one. But got to decide between throwing the jerk bait and a Texas rig. They seem to be biting the worms a little better, so maybe we'll throw a Texas rig on with him. Try and fish somewhere a little bit deeper, but I think honestly I've lost track of how many fish that is now between the both of us. Maybe like 12 or something, but pretty good day.
All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today. You know, Cooper and I caught a ton of fish, you know, I think probably total 25. I don't know how many are going to be on video, but you know, I caught that one nice one. He caught that one nice one. Each of those were probably maybe 1.5 pounds to those 2-pound range. So we didn't catch that true giant we were after, but honestly, I am pleased with how it went. This is the first time I fished this place, and honestly, I think it's been around a year exactly to the day. But we caught a ton of fish and just had a great time. It was a little windy, you know, the kayaks, it's always a tough time fishing from the kayak. So maybe we'll come back here once the weather's a little nicer and, you know, the summer bite heats up. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.